Listen, you want to clean up your mental mess? Do you want to decide that every problem can actually motivate you, inspire you, give you joy when you're going through it? I'm going to give you a few keys on how we can get our mind stronger than ever in 2024. Let's go. So most of the info I have received when it comes to getting my mind in check, getting my mind on point, being able to think like I'm a monster when it comes to life. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but being able to think clearly, concisely, and seeing problems and the things that I go through as opportunities comes from the Word of God. And it also comes from Caroline Leaf. She has a few books. One of the books that I've read was How to Switch On Your Brain, and also Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess. All of these books are great resources. And when I first learned about this thing called my mind, I consumed it on a regular basis. I remember taking walks every day just to focus on my thinking. I was in a stressful job and I had to be mentally sharp in order to get through the day. And so I want to encourage you with these 5 steps to understand how you can get the most out of your thinking and then in turn get the most out of your life. Number 1, understand that your thoughts can be controlled. What does that mean? You don't have to think about everything that pops in your mind. At least you don't have to dwell on those things. See, thoughts are triggers, and those triggers emotions. They trigger responses in your mind and in your brain. And so when things happen, those thoughts immediately trigger something that maybe came from the past. And so I want you to understand, Paul in the Bible years ago said this: whatever is true, whatever is right, whatever is noble, whatever is lovely, whatever is praiseworthy. Hope I'm getting it right. Think on these things. So what's the scriptures telling us? It's telling us before scientists, before doctors told us and informed us that we can control our thinking, the Word of God was informing us that we can control our thoughts. Yes, we have the ability to think about what we're thinking about. Thank you, Joyce. And so I want to encourage you, dwell on positive, encouraging, clear thoughts. Do it over and over again for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I want you to see how you and your mood, your attitude, your body changes. I'm telling you, it is true and it can change you from the inside out. Number 2, you can control the pattern of your thoughts through what Caroline Leaf describes as the neurocycle. I want to encourage you to get the book to be able to understand the process of how your mind thinks and memorizes things, and so that we can equip you and you can be equipped to be able to write and go through those things. Number 3, embracing, processing, and reconceptualizing is the process through the neurocycle. And so the whole thought is this: you can't control or overcome a thought if you have not fully embraced it. What does that mean? You'll have this nagging thought in the back of your mind over and over and over again. And you're like, oh, I'm just trying to do everything I can to avoid this thought. And what Caroline Leaf says is this is your brain, the non-conscious side of your brain, trying to continue to alert you so that you don't just push it off, but you actually embrace it to change and to handle that thought. It's like an alarm system, and instead of you dealing with the actual alarm, you just keep pressing snooze, 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 and eventually that thing wears you down because it's trying to alert you, hey, there's something that you haven't dealt with, so deal with it so that you can feel better. And so we have to embrace, we have to process, and then we reconceptualize. After we process and embraced it, we start thinking a little differently about that thought, right? Start thinking, oh, maybe that person that cut me off wasn't following me from when I left home and wanted to just make me have a bad day? What if they were going through something? Oh, maybe they were on their way to the hospital and they had to get to that hospital in an urgent manner. This all changes our perspective. And so typically the first story or the first draft of every story in your mind sucks. It's horrible. It is a wrong first draft. You assume people have done things to you with wrong motives. And I want to encourage you to begin to embrace, process, and reconceptualize. That was number tres. S3 in Spanish. 4 is this: the neurocycle takes new thoughts and changes them into habits. You're putting them into practice. If you are a leader, if you are someone that is walking and leading people in your organization or church or wherever you're leading people, you're going to have to understand you're going to have good thoughts. You're going to have to turn those good thoughts into great habits. And great habits will continue to produce great results. And so in this neurocycle, this is what she talks about, is creating that new pattern into an actual habit. Number 5 is this: using mind management to bring mental strength and mental resilience. Yes, using mind management to build mental strength and also mental resilience. My goal for this channel is for you to be the best you can be. And we're going to address things spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. And so my goal is for you to be sharp in 2024, to be swole emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, to have a greater emotional health and emotional aptitude and being able to think clear and sharp. And it all helps if you begin with your mind, your thinking. So much for spending time. If you got anything out of this, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I'll try to get better. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Let's get it.